why the crypto market is about to explode, why I've changed my strategy since the last bull market. I am not liquidity pool mining or yield farming anymore. I'm doing this instead. Stay till the end. I'm going to show you exactly how you can crush it during this bull market. All right, so we've got some really big news here. This is something that I didn't even know was up and coming, but essentially President Trump wants to eliminate all capital gains taxes on cryptocurrencies issued by U.S. companies. This means that cryptos such as ADA, Algo, XRP, and HBAR would be fully tax-free. I mean, that's pretty darn bullish, guys and gals, if that actually ends up passing, which I think it could. The Republicans have the House, the Senate, and the White House. This is a pretty darn big deal. I mean, if that's the case, a lot of crypto companies could end up moving back to the United States and could end up producing their crypto there because it'll give a lot of people incentive to buy their crypto and easily give them incentive to also buy their own crypto because if it's going to be tax-free and you know what's going on inside of your project, why wouldn't you do that? So that's a pretty big news. Check this out as well. We've got Senator Loomis, Cynthia Loomis from Wyoming. She wants to put together a reserve bill, and in the first 100 days, she wants to start accumulating Bitcoin. Now, I think it's about 200,000 Bitcoin per year over a 5-year period. So what they're looking to do is they're looking to buy a total of about 1 million Bitcoin. This would be extremely bullish for the market and probably would drive the price of Bitcoin to Valhalla and above. So this is something that they're working on that I think, it could become a reality very, very, very quickly. This is something that the people in the Ethereum market have been really looking forward to. And you can see here that Ethereum is just heating up. The ETH supply is shrinking and we're back into a deflationary territory, which means that this is actually, in my opinion, currently probably a better investment than Bitcoin. Bitcoin maxis are probably going to be really upset that I'm saying this, but you can see here that the ETH supply is down negative 0.13. ETH has the ability to inflate or deflate over time. The more usage that the Ethereum network gets, the lower the emissions become, and it can also go negative because the fees actually get burnt. And this is good for stakers. This is good for the ETH network as a whole, ETH price action. And, a lot of people are saying, Ethereum is basically toast compared to Solana during this bull market. I could not disagree more. I personally use Ethereum still till this day. Our flagship managed vault is actually on the ETH network. And we're launching some other ones on Arbitrum, which Arbitrum is very, very fast. There's a lot of layer 2s. Is Solana going to do well? Because Solana's kind of like the real competitor to Ethereum. Bitcoin isn't. Bitcoin's like, the pet rock or gold. It just doesn't. It's more of a store of value. And, there is some DeFi on Bitcoin, but nobody uses it. Let's just be upfront. All right. Go on DeFi Llama. Go on anywhere where you can find metrics on it. Nobody is using it. There's no yield. There's no real volume of substance going on. But here with Ethereum, I mean, it's already there. A lot of the total value locked is in Ethereum and or layer 2s, which is built on top of Ethereum. Okay, so I don't think Ethereum's going anywhere, at least not in this bull market. I just did a video yesterday, and I think I covered it then, where you're actually starting to see more inflow into the ETFs of Ethereum as well. So you want to check out that video from yesterday. I'm putting out a video, by the way, guys and gals, every single day. Let's see. Let's keep going. Now, this is a funny one. You see Senator Karen complaining, which it's so funny, like only one person should be heading up this DOGE, which is the office or Department of Government Efficiency. So this is a huge deal. Donald Trump announced that Vivek and Musk are going to be heading this up. And I think this is a great idea. I mean, she's just upset because she's going to get a lot of her, probably crap stuff that is getting funded by yours and I's tax dollars, she's going to get all that stuff probably taken away from her. So, which is a good thing. The government is way too big, guys and gals, way too big. This government needs to be efficient. And I can tell you, I've traveled all over the world, to Dubai, to the country of Georgia, to Russia, to, I mean, you name it. I've been there, Turkey. And the United States has just become a joke around the world, especially when it comes to its government. And so the more efficient that it can get, and let me tell you, even here in the country of Panama, Turkey, Georgia, it was so easy to process things in the government, from getting a business established to your residency or citizenship. It is so simple compared to the United States. It's too big, it's too clunky, it needs to be cut. So having, one of the world's best businessmen, and Vivek, I don't know too much about Vivek, but he seems like a young, bright guy. We need to get rid of all of these older politicians that have been there forever, doing like God knows what. Like, seriously, what has really happened over the last few years that was like, wow, the United States is turning around? I think that that's going to be happening here with Vivek and with Elon, cutting and streamlining things so that the United States can get back into profit and become a good investment again. Guys, gals, if you want to learn more about what I'm about to teach you in the later half of this video, click on the link down below. And there's a video that I've prepared for you that explains exactly how we're making money and how you can take advantage of this next crypto boom. Do not let this opportunity slip you up, because honestly, with all the things happening in the United States, I think you're going to be very, very happy of learning this new system that is going to be just exploding over the next 2, 3, 4 years. And you've got to know, though, how this system works, how DeFi works. This is our actual app. We have an app here. We have an app on the iPhone and Google app stores, and you can really head over there and learn a lot about how to get into DeFi, how to really make some money. We've got all sorts of our self-guided courses here. We also have the ability to have us manage your crypto without you losing custody. And this is fully decentralized. I'm going to do a video on it here shortly, but you can see here, this is a place where you can deposit your money if maybe you don't have enough time to do this and you don't want to, take the time to do things that we're teaching you in the classes. You still need to learn what we're doing, right? But you can get involved and you can get into some of the hottest cryptos in our strategies where we're trading. We're getting in, we're getting out based off of our momentum indicators, which I've done plenty of videos on that. Anyways, enough about that. The link is down below. Watch that video and hopefully we'll see you as part of the community. All right, so let's talk about yield farming and liquidity pool mining, which is a strategy that I've been using since 2020. I was one of the first people in DeFi, and literally I benefited tremendously. I mean, I became a millionaire within a year in some months from like $15,000. Now, I dollar cost averaged money in over that time. And realistically, I probably put in an additional like 120,000 between, I would say, like June of 2020 and all the way up to November of 2021. So that money just kept kind of compounding on top of what I had already had invested in crypto. But this is something that I have really taken to heart, and especially with some new strategies that have come out with Uniswap called concentrated liquidity. And when I say new, they're like 2 years old now. But concentrated liquidity is something where you've got a negative thing occurring, which is called impermanent loss. And in most cases, you would have been better off just buying and holding the crypto than buying and putting it into a yield farm or into a liquidity pool where you're earning fees, okay? Now, if the fees hold true to the actual fee, and I'm going to show you here how you can actually earn fees. You may, over time, this line may start to come back and cross this one, but it does take a lot of time, and the crypto market is very flashy and moves very, very quickly. And so I've made a huge decision to shift my strategy to more momentum-based strategy, spot trading, and also leverage trading. And I'm going to show you why that's become so impactful in my life and in my strategy that I'm using for trading crypto. Now, before, the reason that I did liquidity pool mining is because we had this full range. So concentrated liquidity is you're just saying, okay, I think that Ethereum is going to, you can take a look here. I think that Ethereum is going to be trading between the price of $2,390 and $3,409. And if it trades between this price, well, I'm going to earn fees of 45% per year on average. Now, that's if it holds. Sometimes it goes higher, sometimes it goes lower, okay? Now, the impermanent loss happens if I go out of this green line or below this green line. So if I go above this green line, basically what's happening is I'm holding a whole bunch of USDC. So my investment is no longer growing, and it has the added not value of not earning any more fees. Now, the same rule applies. Let's say, for instance, if it goes down in value, you'll see here, let's say if it crosses down below this green line, then what ends up happening is I end up with only Ethereum and I'm not earning fees, okay? So this is concentrated liquidity. Now, before, you used to basically trade the full range, but with concentrated liquidity, you can see there's a huge difference right here that you're getting paid only 3.81% versus if you concentrated the liquidity, you're earning way more. I've read all sorts of very, very in-depth papers on concentrated liquidity and how there's just really, really not too much here that you can profit by. Impermanent loss is almost an inevitable thing because you're going to basically cross the chasm of the higher number or the lower number, okay? So what's the strategy? Where would I use this as a strategy? Okay, well, one, I don't do any concentrated liquidity anymore. It's just not worth it, okay? The impermanent loss is a real thing. And I saw that basically at the earlier part of this year, I really realized that concentrated liquidity is not the way to go. So why would I do this? Well, let's say, for instance, I have a crypto that's called Frax or FXS. It's pretty low down the totem pole, and it's sunk tremendously over the last year. But Frax is coming out with some new tokenomics very, very soon here. And I just think it's really cheap. It is a cash flowing cryptocurrency ecosystem, meaning they've actually have their own L2, layer 2, where they're making money there. And they are making money by doing borrowing and lending. They're making money through fees on swaps. They're making money all sorts of different ways. And they've got basically the decentralized stablecoin market, meaning like even derivatives of Ethereum. They're working on a derivative of Bitcoin, derivatives or backed United States dollar cryptocurrencies called stablecoins. They've got the market locked down when it comes to that. They just have the superior product. So with this being said, I actually want more Frax, and I just kind of don't want to worry about it. So what have I done? Okay, well, right here, you can see that I'm actually yield farming Frax, okay? And I've put in roughly about $20,000 into this yield farm. And this yield farm is Frax, which is a stable coin, and WFrax ETH, which is a derivative of Ethereum, okay? And I think right now you may be saying like, well, if you have impermanent loss, why would you want that? Well, on these, it's not concentrated liquidity. So I have the full range of the spectrum. So I'm never going to end up with a full bag of ETH, and I'm never going to end up with a full bag of Frax. And I'm always going to be printing fees. So you can see here, the base fee is 7.49. Now you have to take the multiplier. So you have to multiply it by this 0.694 and 0.706. That probably puts me at a little bit over 12% or 15%. Now these fees do go up, okay? And the longer you stake it, which I don't want to stake it for too long. I want my money to be liquid. The longer you stake it though, the more the weighted boost you get. I would probably not stake more than 1 year, which 1 year gives you about a 1x weighted boost returns. So that means instead of 7.49, you would be getting 15%. Now, again, this does ebb and flow, and you can take a look here. When the emissions start to flow, just as early as November 7th, this was paying 19.39% in Frax. And you can see here, here's my Frax rewards. Now, what am I doing with my Frax rewards? Well, there is a derivative liquidity pool for Frax on Curve, but you can have it hyper compound on Beefy. Now, why would I want to do this? Well, the reason I would want to do this is because SD Frax is a derivative of Frax. So its value is very, very similar. It deviates just slightly. I think like SD Frax can deviate to like 90% of the value of Frax, but the actual impermanent loss that I would suffer is very, very small because their price movement move up and down together because it is almost the same price as Frax. And so what I've done is I put it in this liquidity pool where I'm actually earning 47.43% with a very small amount of impermanent loss, if any at all. And what it's doing is it's taking my fees and compounding it back into this liquidity pool automatically. So I don't even need to worry about, taking the fees and compounding them manually. This smart contract actually compounds it for me. So if Frax starts to explode, which I think it could do 100x from here, and I'm not joking, all right? I literally think this could do 100x from here. I'm going to be doing really, really, really well. And especially since I'm earning more here and I'm also earning more here that I just take this and I keep compounding it into here. And lastly, why have I shifted from yield farming to actually leverage trading? Well, before I wasn't a fan of leverage trading. Why? Because the only places that you could leverage trade before was places like centralized exchanges such as FTX, Bybit, Binance, well, not for US citizens, but for non-US citizens. And I've never trusted centralized exchanges. And for good reason. Obviously, look at what happened with FTX. And yes, people are going to get their USD value back. But in terms of their crypto that they owned, they lost it forever. All right. And so why have I shifted to leverage trading? Well, because the technology has advanced on the blockchain. And now I'm able to use leverage trading exchanges on the blockchain in my own custody, such as Gains.trade. This is the one that I use to trade some of my favorite cryptos. Now you can see here, look at SUI, all right? I've got SUI, which I think is going to do tremendous things this bull market. And I have a lot of other cryptos that I'm leverage trading as well, but I'm not going to share those today. But look at this. I put in a 3 times leverage trade on SUI. Okay. So in order for me to get a 3 times multiplier on my crypto or on my yield farming or liquidity pool mining, I would need to be earning a consistent 300% per year. And that's just not doable in today's environment in crypto. It may pump up to that for a couple of days, but mostly you're going to see days like today where you're getting paid 45%. Couple that with the impermanent loss and you're screwed. And so what I did here is I'm buying and speculating on the hottest cryptos, and I'm skipping to the front of the line using other people's money and leverage. Now, do I pay an interest fee on this? Yes, absolutely. However, the interest on gains is one of the lowest in the industry, and I believe that there's a very, very low fee just for trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe even Solana on here. But this is why I use Gains. Gains is really good. And by the way, I have a link down below. I believe in this product, and I really do think that Gains is going to be the next, on-chain Binance, or one of them, one of these big, or BitGet or something like that. Or Bybit, or one of those leverage trading, because they do have really, really good stuff. It's fast. It's on Arbitrum. And they are putting together some really great things. Aside from that, you have tons and tons of different pairs that you can be trading. Now, take a look at this, okay? Take a look at this. You can see just in, the matter of a few weeks now, I'm up 226%. Now, is Sui up 226%? No way. It's not even close to that. It's probably 70% or 60%. Okay. But I'm up 226%. And I've only risked $7,000 in order to make basically double, and hopefully soon to be quadruple, quintuple, 10x, 20x, which is what I really do believe that Sui is going to do. But instead of me having to wait for those fees to build and go through impermanent loss, I don't have to do that. Now, there are risks. If Sui does go down, my losses compound much, much quicker. But that's where risk management comes into play, and that's where, that's for another video. But anyways, this is what I'm doing, guys and gals. I have a 4-part video series that I put together just on leverage trading. So if you want to learn a little bit more on that, it's completely free. The video, you can start here with video number 1, and you can go through the whole playlist. Other than that, guys, gals, smash that subscribe button, smash that notification button so that you get notified every single time a video gets put out. And hopefully we'll actually see you in class, because we're doing some amazing things right now that are going to make people millions and millions of dollars, hopefully billions, over the coming years. All right, cheers. See you on the next one.